Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here and welcome to another AS Monaco episode. Yeah, this is pre-season obviously, and we had a somewhat successful season last season, obviously coming second, winning the Coupe de France and the Trophée des Champions, making the quarterfinals of the Champions League was also pretty nice, and I mean the only disappointing thing was probably the Coupe de France, not the Coupe de France, the Coupe de la Ligue, sorry. We only made the semi-final of that, and it was pretty disappointing to actually be knocked out of that competition. But anyway, let's get into the transfers first of all, as we always do, and I press the wrong button there. Alright, a little bit of activity as you'll see, nothing too outstanding, but we'll go through the ins first. I always like to go through the ins. First of all, Guy Litzler. He was brought in from RC Strasbourg Alas, which is our feeder club. The same club that Ulrich actually came through. So he came in for 22,000. As you can see, he is fairly decent for 22k. 16-year-old. I mean, his tackling is very low, but his physicals are somewhat decent, and his mentals are quite good for a player his age, I should say. The next player I brought in was Uche Itoto from Kano Pillars in Nigeria. As you can see, he's fairly decent, very good physicals. Technically, he's not all there, because I do want him to be a ball-winning midfielder, and he's obviously his defensive stats are quite low. He does have 20 determination, which is pretty good, so hopefully that can pick him up, and he is training well, so yeah, that's good. He's definitely got the pace to be, an absolute force in the middle of the park for us. Milton Santibanez, I went over him in one of the episodes of last season, but he did come to the club for a free, or on a Bosman, I should say. He's fairly decent, as you can see, just a regular, advanced forward striker. Very good finishing, physicals aren't outstanding, but they are fairly decent. And yeah, these three were actually all free transfers. Next in was Ika Munain from Athletic Bilbao. Very good left winger. He can also play as the AMC, which he'll probably rotate with Kanga and a Campos out on the left. I might try and play a Campos a bit more on the right. I'll just rotate like those four, and we might chuck in one of the young left wingers I have as well, just for a bit of game time. And the final player I brought in was Johan Francois. Very good Belgian goalkeeper, 18 reflexes, 16 one-on-ones, very good mentally as well, 18 composure, and he's, a dominant force. He's quite large, 189 centimeters, and he's got good strength in jumping, so yeah, definitely at 23 years old is an absolute steal on a free transfer. I do feel a bit sorry for Anderlecht there. Anyway, the outs, not too many outgoing, but as you can see, we only spent 1.02 million there, as I am quite happy with the squad. We almost beat PSG last season. But anyway, Rocky Gordon, sad to see him go, but he has been picked up by Yeovil. We let him go on a free transfer. We sold Giovanni Ramirez to Anderlecht for 5 mil after a successful loan season, which he only played 5 games in and was pretty shit. But anyway, Yves Blakiri was sold to Marseille. His contract was running out, so I know he's a decent prospect for goalkeeper, but I just thought, I've got a lot of prospects. So I sold him for 1.2 mil. That was the lowest that would come in for him. Next was Andrei Slavuga. He was sold to Stade Rennes for 5.5? So selling to, a league rival, but I mean, he was never going to feature. And Babiero came back, and I prefer to use a French player over a Croatian. Um, you know, not that Croatians are bad or anything, but obviously being a French team, I just want to play my French players, especially if they come through the academy as well. Daniel Oliveira, I just gave him to our feeder club at Jackie-O's because I don't want him anymore, and I don't really want to, release him on a free because that would cost the club quite a bit for a fuck up of myself. But anyway, Jason Steele was also sold to Braga for 1.7 mil. Good to get him off the wage bill, even though I still have to pay him like 30k a week or something, which is pretty bad, but I just wanted to get rid of him. So his sale will pretty much pay for him. Camaro, I was pretty upset about selling him, but I did sell him. He was in the final year of his contract. Sold him to Real Betis for 3.2 mil. As you can see, he's on 3.3k a week there. He wanted 30k a week, and to be a key player, and I wasn't prepared to do that. So on he went. decided to keep the Scottish player, I forget his name. Um, but yeah, we decided to keep him instead. Mansour Fall, just let him go. I mean, 20 years old. He'll still develop, but he won't ever be as good as my first teamers. And I have the other French youth goalkeeper, I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, I have him as well, so yeah. Flavin Girard went out on loan to CSKA Moscow, which is a pretty decent move, and he's actually improving quite a bit, so that is nice. We also let Dare Diallo, the signing of last season, go out on loan again. Antwerp came in with a loan offer of like 14k a week, which will, yeah, it'll make 145k throughout the season, so that's a pretty decent loan. I was going to loan him out anyway, so that's good. Stefan Lowry was sold to FC Twente for 5.75 mil. You know, I've got an abundance of strikers now. He is very good at 22. You know, he could still probably improve, apart from the fact that his acceleration has dropped even more. That was at 20 when I bought him, and I think that was at 18. So his pace has gone down with age. He has picked up quite a few injuries, to be fair, and he hasn't really impressed out on loan ever. I mean, his highest rating throughout a season was at Havre, and he only averaged a 6.92, so yeah, he's never going to be good enough. Mokhtar Majuri was let out on loan to now League 2 club Bordeaux, fairly decent loan. Kenneth Jensen tried to sell him off, no one would take him, so I just loaned him out to Guingamp, who were actually in the national division, so consecutive relegations for them, interesting. And finally, Aubameyang was sold to Liverpool for, yes, 225,000. He was valued at like 2 mil, so his value shot right up. But anyway, something funny, you know, a lot of people criticise me for spending 50 mil on him in my second season. But I mean, if you just look at his goals scored, you know, 12, alright, fair enough. Second season scored 12 goals. I think we finished 6th that season. So that's pretty bad. But then he scored 18, and then 26, assisted 7, then 25, assisted 4, with very good ratings, and obviously turned 31, so obviously he's going to deteriorate a bit, and he lost his pace as well, so I think, what's that? That's like a loss of 49.75 mil, basically, so yeah, it's quite a hefty loss, actually. But anyway, I am currently trying to sign Lars Bender. He was released by Leverkusen last season, or the end of last season. And as you can see, he's still there completely at 31 years old. And I think he would be the absolute perfect ball-winning midfielder for us. So I'm definitely trying to get him in. And his wages are only, he will only be on 50k a week with a 5k appearance fee. I managed to get his appearance fee down 5k a week, or an appearance, I should say. So that's very good. I'm also trying to loan Vicente out again, and we've got all these clubs coming in with offers, which are, you know, massive clubs, and the usual Ulrich bids from, you know, Manchester United, City, Barca, Real, and PSG. So I've been rejecting them because I put it up to 50 million, and they don't want to pay 50 million. I mean, honestly, an extra 3.5 million they don't want to pay. Come on. It did mean that I had to offer him a new contract though, so we'll get into that very quickly. He's now on 100k per week, which is really frustrating. And he's only 21 years old, so I'm probably going to sell him off in the future if he keeps, you know, asking for contracts. And yeah, I mean, it would be a really sad day considering I only got him, well, I got him for 40,000. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into the fixtures now. Pretty disappointing, to be honest. We beat Los Angeles 3-0. Goals coming from Gomez and a brace from Lopez. We then lost to Borussia Dortmund 3-1. The only goal coming from Lopez, who played pretty well in that game, actually. Beat Newcastle 1-0. Goal coming from Gomez this time. We beat RC Strasbourg 3-1. Hat-trick for Vicente in his first real start. We then beat Nuremberg 4-1. Campos, Papadopoulos, Ike Muniain, and Lopez again, before we absolutely got destroyed. We didn't actually get destroyed. Actually, I want to go into this. This is interesting. We lost 2-0 to them, right? If we jump into the match stats. Alright, as you can see, they scored 2 goals from 2 shots on target, and we basically, you know, it was fairly even. We actually beat them on possession. But that's really fucking annoying, honestly. I mean, I know it's only the, equivalent to the Community Shield, but I would have loved to have won it again, actually, because we won it, like the last 2 seasons, I think? Yeah, we had one of the last 2 seasons, so it would have been nice to actually beat PSG, but anyway, Jan Sommer with a piss poor performance in that game, I guess. Anyway, that's basically it. I'm going to jump into the league table very quickly here. I want to win the league this season so badly. So I think it's imperative, PSG have already won their first game, so it's imperative I'm going to focus a lot of my attention on actually winning the league this year, and not worry too much about the cups and stuff, because I do actually want to win it. So I might rest Matinho and Lars Bender and just use them in the league. Obviously the Champions League, I would love to, win it or go very far in it, but I'm not that fussed. I would prefer to win the league once at least, and then, try and challenge for the Champions League. So, yeah, just to give you a little update on Murillo Fabiano, he's actually improving incredibly, which is ridiculous. He's actually, I think, he was with Brazil at the Olympics just before. And I was pretty disappointed. I couldn't actually get the French under-23s job because for some reason, I know it was 4 years ago, but it said I just left the job. So yeah, whatever. I guess they went with someone else new, or someone new. That didn't make sense. Anyway, so yeah, he's playing well. He's playing well. 20. He's being played out of position, which I'm a little bit pissed off about. But he started 23 league games, which are the half of them were the regional division in Brazil that they're in. Atletico Mineiro are actually sitting in the relegation zone though. So anyway, that'll end this episode, guys. If you could please give me a like rating on this video, that would be amazing. And also a favorite would do wonders as well. Head over to my channel and subscribe, and yeah, add me on Twitter or follow me on Twitter. I think that's the correct terminology. And I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Goodbye.